So Bitcoin is crashing, the whole crypto markets are going down with it. So in this video, I'm going to discuss whether you should have sold all your crypto in May and walk away. So before I get into this video, I just want to make it clear whatever I say in this video should not be considered financial advice, and I advise you to do your own research before you buy any cryptocurrency. Okay, so let's just jump into my office and let's just go through the crypto markets. So let's just go straight into the Bitcoin price. So Bitcoin is at a pivotal level. As you can see here on the chart, Bitcoin is coming in at $104,821. So I did talk about this in my previous video that I posted on YouTube, that I was expecting Bitcoin to pull back to test this 104K level, as it does have support here because it does have some weekly closes. Now, something that you have to keep in mind is Bitcoin had put in 7 weekly green candles in a row. Now, the most that Bitcoin has ever put in is 8. So, in my opinion, Bitcoin is definitely overdue a pullback. Like I said in my previous video, I would expect that Bitcoin would get some sort of a bounce here at the 104K level. And as of today, you are seeing that Bitcoin is getting a short-term bounce in the market. Now, we are also seeing the USDT dominance making its way back up here on this chart. So as we just zoom in here, but it is coming up to some sort of kind of a resistance here. So I did draw this diagonal trend line here. And as you can see here in the chart, this does act as support and resistance. So we might get a short-term bounce in the market if this USDT dominance decides to drop here. So it could come back to retest this trend line. Now, I did make a thread on Twitter earlier on today, which I'll read out for you here. So in this thread, I did talk about Bitcoin dominance. Now, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, it is putting in, so it did put in a high and then a low, and this looks like it could potentially be a higher low. Now, although most people on crypto Twitter are shouting that Bitcoin dominance to go to 70%. And this is highly possible, in my opinion, but can you imagine the smell if it rolled over here? So the big thing to watch, in my opinion, is Ethereum. So we know Ethereum is the second biggest cryptocurrency by market cap. So all eyes on ETH here. Ethereum's strength has been undeniable as of late. So it's currently in an ascending triangular pattern. This is considered a continuous pattern. So we may see it break out to the upside. So if we did see Ethereum break out here, this would be a huge punch to the Bitcoin dominance chart. It would actually cause it to roll over. Another reason why I think we see some weakness in Bitcoin, although I don't see it to drop too much, Bitcoin is still king, but it has been quite euphoric as of late, as we are seeing more companies follow the MicroStrategy playbook. Michael Saylor's premium is not as exciting as it used to be, as it's getting smaller. Therefore, I feel as though the weekly buys from him will also become smaller. So I'm also seeing in the traditional markets, especially in the S&P 500, I believe we will see a lower high from here. Q1 earnings have been strong due to pre-buying in the anticipation of tariffs. Therefore, I believe Q2 earnings will be weaker. And you have to understand that the stock market is forward-looking. So a lot of people know that Q2 earnings will be weaker. We won't get that data until maybe July or August of Q3. So therefore, I do believe that we will start to see a sell-off in the traditional markets. The bond markets are at extreme levels. Nobody wants US debt. And we've also seen that Moody's have now downgraded the US debt from a AAA rating. We also have the Japanese carry trade unwind risks, which will also put pressure on the stock market. But money will have to flow somewhere, as we do see the M2 money supply increasing. Although we may have a choppy sideways market for Q3 like we had in previous years, I just would not rule out some bullish price action on some select altcoins. I'm excited to see Ethereum's next move here. So I did come across this tweet here from Stock Money Lizards. Now, I'm not going to read through the whole thing. You can do that. You can find this tweet yourself. But he did post this earlier on today, and he just goes over all the important metrics for Bitcoin and his reasons why he doesn't believe that there's a top in the market. Now, I do tend to agree with him. Like, he talks about like a lot of influencer calling the top, saying that you should sell here. But he goes through all these important metrics to show that he believes there isn't a top. Now, I believe there might be a short-term top for Bitcoin, but because of this, you might see Ethereum and the altcoins perform. Now, obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. So all eyes on Ethereum's next move. So if Ethereum breaks to the upside, this would actually signal strength in the altcoin market. Now, should you sell all your crypto in May? Obviously, I can't answer that question for you. But if you are fairly nervous and you know if you don't have capital to buy the dip, if we do see like a summer lull in the market, maybe it is a good idea to maybe take something off the table. I did free up some capital. I did sell some of my Bitcoin holdings as I do believe that we are in a potential top scenario. But I am excited to see where the market will go from here. And if we do go lower, I will definitely capitalize on the dip. So I did talk about Jupiter in my previous video, and I was currently long. I did take out, I did cut out 50% here, roughly at I think it was like 57 cents, and I was letting my trade ride. I did have a target of 66 cents. Now, unfortunately, it didn't get there. It got very, very close. And I managed to close out my trade here at like 56 cents again. So I did manage to get some profits. So I've currently no future trades opened at the moment. So we do have the Please meme coin. So I am currently still holding this one, and I do remain very, very bullish. We did have JD Vance as a key speaker at the Bitcoin conference last Wednesday. Now, obviously, the price action was going to sell off after the event, as you do have traders playing sell the news. And currently, it's now sitting at a $6.1 million market cap. It did go as low as roughly around 5 million, and it's now starting to rebound again. So I did find it very interesting that JD Vance did actually say please. In fact, he did say it 3 times, and he did acknowledge he actually holds meme coins. So just watch this clip from the Bitcoin conference.
First of all, I want to thank, please, thank you. But I promise I'm not just saying that to juice my own meme coins.
So I do find this one very interesting that he did say please 3 times, and he acknowledged that he does hold meme coins. And what's so strange is that the promo code for the event actually was PWEASE, PWEASE. So in my opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually holds the meme coin, because he does acknowledge it here in this clip. So therefore, I do hold it and remain very bullish. So there you have it, folks. That is your crypto market update. That is my view on the market. If you got value out of this one, please go down, smash up the like, hit the subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.